So this is the trip to USA Infinity, which is like Infinity America, which is the map on glows planets infinitely around the universal place of existence within the realms, obviously. And that's when the countries such as USA is connected within the flat map of Infinity USA. So it starts off by possibly a major psychosis, major depression, major breakdown, and our awakening or realizations of the necessary needs to fly to USA in an aircraft that during the time you're sitting in the aircraft, it feels like a small aircraft, like a tiny toy for biblical beings that are universal species that are big. And the aircraft flies into like a loophole and areas of spaces that brings you to the location where it opens and broadens to the USA Infinity map. And it takes about like 5 years for them to adjust and really acknowledge that you are staying and you will be staying. It's almost like the forces of you need to return and or leave wherever you are to your destined location in relation to time and necessary needs to return. The powers of the United States of America will bring you here. And during the 5 years, you might have a boyfriend, girlfriend, or someone that you're enjoying time with and is unaware of the what's really going on, meaning like you're asleep state and you're not really focusing on the skepticisms and the questionings that you would normally be doing, because during that time you could be awakening to something possibly strange and bad. Because the thought process in the mind still connects to the planet and the acknowledgement of long-term knowing that it's a circle sphere planet. So after 5 years, you'll notice that you might feel the urge to baptize Christianity and or enroll in classes at the church. After that, they take you through a series of vaccines that enforces you to resurrect and or become immortal. And during that time, which is now that I'm still in this process since 2016, it's been 4 years and I've been getting approximately 30 vaccines, including injections. So that summarizes the 10-year after flying EVA Air, which is like USA forever, yeah. Which is symbolically, universally realizing an acknowledgement that it is ever to everlasting future and infinity map. So after the being on supposedly what it feels like curfew and quarantine and whatever else, for example, animals that are flying overseas that have to be in quarantine for the amount of time and go through vaccines and whatever else they need, medication and so forth, to be able to fly to a different country and the checks and everything else. And it is supposedly COVID and we're all expected to stay indoors and not leave the area. And if you do leave the area, you're going to feel the urge that you have to come back home. Because it's like a high power in the sky or the universal USA powers that are the enforcements instead of the notifications, since it feels like there's no one truly here. And the people around, for example, the policemen seems as magic miracles of imagery and or something similarly to the Matrix, like a dream. So it doesn't feel like they're really there, but there's like PlayStations with names like Golden Valley, which is like trust of God, and then there's like Magic Mountain, which is like magic police that can use powers to detect where your ID and everything else is. So those are the options and the like a constant guess of what's really going on, and there's possibly no one here yet. Because I did draw like a devil with a pitchfork to kind of see and observe where I really am and who's truly here. It's a large space with no one. So I kind of like pulled back and realized that I'm actually here alone. And the length of distance of where someone truly is in my location, it's further than I can actually map out and actually go, but maybe it will open once I truly and fully resurrect here, yeah, and in my senses and in my thoughts and my energy, then I would be able to. But with the proper assist and the delusional of people in surroundings and the mind control, then the medication and everything offered is real and is helpful and beneficial. However, the conversations and so on, my reality, I'm still connected to Holy Dead and my Trinity group, which is Blue Ribo, Spirit Faith, and a lot of people seem extremely dead and zombie state and or a living dead, which is traumatizing. And to be honest, it feels like they're here but at a different time. Like they come here like later and or after, or maybe here before. In the actions and conversations, it feels like they're not here at the same time. So not communicating in the same airplane of space all the time. It's like argument often, not hearing often, not acknowledging, and or a conflict often. So after I took a picture with the Nikon photo at the park with a different lens, Balthazar and Jacob is not here. It's like a ghost. And I went to the park basically alone at night. And that seems to be what I'm doing here, yeah. And so Zach Wayne, Holy Dead, moved next door, and we're not even communicating, which is kind of odd. And it's not like we have an argument or conflict. He might think so, but I don't really think he might think so, to be honest. I think it's something to do with time that is considered illegal to be meshing and or traveling to since the beginning of time. And usually I think when someone's doing something like that, it causes decision issues and so on in the movements and responses. But no one's actually physically allowed to be in the same place, same time. I don't think so, yeah. So it's weird when I'm talking about this art, it's something else, and even people elsewhere. The psychologist is different, the doctor's different. They have like walls, papers, and computers and things like that is like high power that checks, even though it looks like junk. But these devices and everything is going, as in magic, miracle, real in the checking and the corrections. Like, for example, the Menjivac and HPV. I went there, they typed in the computer, I could feel like bubbles and things leave my body. Which was actually a jellyfish that I felt leave my body. Things as that. It's difficult, it's challenging, and I would suggest everyone get their vaccine before they do have to take the flight.